I do remember on my 18th birthday, my sisters took me to the pub, and I had about 5 pints of cider and a toasted cheese sandwich. I got home and threw up all over my album covers, which were all laid out over my floor. My dad came in and got really angry and broke a chair. That was my memory of my 18th birthday. So hopefully that won't happen at Brixton. At least not the chair and me throwing up on the album covers. Always wanting to make a difference and to make new things in music. So it was natural, I guess, to start a record label.
We are getting ready for hospitality at Brixton Academy.
We started in early '96. And we were kind of working off the back of a previous venture, which was called Tongue and Groove Records, which was something Tony had started and I'd got involved with in early '93.
And the music was kind of acid jazz, funk, and it took off. It went really, really well. The first record went top 40, and this was so independent that I used to drive around in my Morris Marina and sell the records out of my boot to record shops. I met Chris when he was a flyer designer, and he designed a flyer, and I liked him, and we got talking, and I just thought, do you know what, do you want to come and run this label with me?
Which had done really, really well for a sort of 18-month period, and then started to kind of crash hard when trip-hop kind of destroyed acid jazz. It sounds very dramatic, doesn't it?
And then I heard Timeless by Goldie, and was a seminal album in drum and bass.
You know, like the early sounds of jungle and very early drum and bass were probably one of the most sort of vibrant forms of underground music that was really driving London as a city in the mid-90s.
So I thought, this feels like a place I want to be.
We decided to try and start something new, to try and start something exciting.
And I said to Chris, let's start a drum and bass label, but let's try and learn how to make drum and bass first.
We've been fortunate to find great team members and great members of staff who can come into the company and just add value.
All the guys that love drum and bass, obviously, and they all really care about the labels.
They kind of have the whole thing, they have the whole picture sewn up.
From promotions to artwork and all the little intricate things in between.
Well, we've been celebrating our 18th birthday all year, so we're all rather hungover. We've had enough parties.
You know, it's just been a very exciting, whirlwind of a year.
I feel like it's a really interesting birthday because it's not 10, it's not 20, it's not 30. I mean, 18 is when an adult comes of age, and 18, specifically for events, 18 is when you can go clubbing.
You know, the events, I think things have definitely stepped up a notch like this year, you know, like the production at all of the shows has been unreal.
We put a lot of effort and work into the production. You know, all of the, you know, from that enormous big H and all of the LED and the light boxes and the CO2 and goodness knows what else that goes into that main room.
We've got Justin, who runs a company called Mino TV, who build bespoke production pieces for various clients. He built the Big H and the Big H Mark I, which came before it, and He travels with us to as many shows as possible. Unsurprisingly, with Justin, just like with a few of our current employees, our relationship started by him emailing us to tell us how shit we were. That's not uncommon for us to kind of harness that hatred and turn it into something positive. And Rob Stanley, who runs a company called 0DB, who is a hideously over-enthusiastic production manager. I remember one of the first times I came across Rob, he had pitched to us about production managing one of our shows, and then I went to, he used to be production manager these like Let's Go Crazy events, which were these like under 18 shows. I remember just seeing him on stage at this under 18s like with like a flamethrower, just throwing flames all above the crowd. And then just I was like, wasn't it amazing? Just enthusiasm. And when you hear him talk about Hospital Records, like he could talk about us for weeks. And you know, that's I feel like that's really important to me. Like somebody that is truly passionate about us and what we're doing and gets it.
For Hospital, you don't work for Hospital, you're part of the family. And that's been great. I've worked with them, I've been part of the family for 4 years now. And you don't just do a gig, you have a passion about it. And that's great, because I am so caught up in the passion and the energy of Hospital that you pass that on to all the crew. So we have 34 people here today that are just really pushing the boundaries, working hard and so passionate about making this gig amazing.
We've been doing it for so long and with the same crew, so all the audio and lighting guys have always been the same. It became quite a kind of like close-knit team fairly quickly. So people know each other, you know, people are happy to see each other, people work well together and know what's happening. Much closer to being a kind of well-oiled machine now, I guess. But then, you know, we're always changing things, so there's always new curveballs and new challenges.
There's just a particular attention to detail that Hospital put into their events, which make them so good.
The maximum amount of effort possible goes into every single hospitality show.
And it's different each show, which I think as well, which is the main thing. We try and keep things fresh and try never to do quite the same thing twice, you know. This LED arrangement is going to be quite unique. It's already been quite trying from the planning perspective.
We've gone a bit mad. Normally, if you've been coming to Hospital raves, you'll see LED screen in straight strips or slabs, or just generally in a sort of straight environment. We've gone for something that's lots of different fingers of it, and much as it looks like a hedgehog, it's actually really complicated to get it right. There's been an awful lot of maths and me trying to get my protractors out and geometry set.
The sound system alone costs way over £5,000. That's for one night to hire one sound system, and I promise you, it will be rib cage rattlingly good.
That was tickling it.
It's made by Function One, and it's insane. It really, really is. I heard it for the first time in Brixton today, and it's just amazing. To give you some idea, I tried writing hospitality drum and bass with it, and that's what happened.
Thoroughly looking forward to our big 18th birthday blowout down at Brixton.
We are here to celebrate 18 years of one of the most influential labels in the game, Hospital Records, Hospitality. It's a celebration.
We're only here where we are because of what the thousands and thousands of people out there have achieved when they've got involved in what we do, when they've come to our events, or when they've bought our music.
You see kids queuing to get in at 9 o'clock, they'll come in, they'll go straight upstairs, they'll buy a brand new Hospital t-shirt, they'll put it on and they'll go at the front and they'll have their hands in the air by about 9:30. in a nutshell, that encapsulates what's great about it, and also hopefully why we continue to be, motivated and excited.
I'm really excited about the way hospitality is going to develop in 2015. I mean, we're now in a period where we've been around so long that we just have such a huge variety of artists, and I just want to continue to unite everybody in one space, all there for the same thing. The artists are there because they love the music, the fans are there because they love the music, and they're all uniting under one big H.
It's all about the future. 10 years ago was amazing, because we were like, we're 8 years old, we're soon going to be 10 years old. Wow, that's incredible. We're thinking about the future.
The biggest single focus for Hospital as a company is developing new talent.
If I hear a new artist, and if their music makes me think, I wish I'd done that, then a little light bulb goes on, and I think, I want to sign them.
That's the foundation of how we understand what on earth it is we do.
Yeah, no, I mean, when we first signed, I remember in loads of the early meetings, we were just like, why are you signing us? But we're not good enough. But then they sort of said well, we're signing you because we think you've got the potential to be really good, sort of thing, not you're the finished product.
We've signed a number of new artists this year, Krakota and Lynx and Rezo and Anile. We have 2 more that we're actually talking to right now.
They had a great vision for me as an artist, where my music's come from and where I'm going, and they've really helped me fine-tune my production.
We are the pathway for new artists to innovate, to enable them to innovate, to give them a framework within which they can innovate and within which they can push music forward, they can push drum and bass forward.
Hospital have been really embracing of pretty much most of the ideas and vibes that I send them, which has been really nice, and they've been quite supportive of some of my more experimental stuff as well.
Myself as an artist, I thrive on kind of rebelling against my own last record I've just done, because it keeps things fresh, keeps things exciting. They're pretty cool with that, and they're excited by that, in fact.
In the past, Hospital had such a defined sort of liquid sort of sound, and now it's just branched out so much.
They've really opened up to a whole other styles of drum and bass. And at the end of the day, that's what's always been exciting about drum and bass music, is it's a big melting pot of different sounds.
So yeah, here we are. We're 18. So what? Let's be 21. Let's be 45. Let's be 50 years old. Let's do that.